Hey everyone, how's it going? So, Japan. I was hoping to get this video uploaded when I got back, but of course I got busy, didn't have time to record, didn't have time to edit. So basically, I want to talk about my experiences, some thoughts, and really just a small recap on the highlights of my trip. I documented a lot of my travels through Snapchat, so I'll be using a lot of those videos in this one. Before my visit, whenever I would think of Japan, the first few things that would come to mind were generic, I know. But seriously, Japan was actually just about what I had expected it to be. In general, anyways. There were some minor details I wasn't expecting.
I missed my bus. I missed the last bus like 40 minutes ago. I have 2 hours to make the last train, and it is 2 hours to get there by walking. I have to run.
My itinerary for Japan went something like this: Tokyo, Kyoto, Hakone, and back to Tokyo, with a few cities in between. This video is probably going to jump all over the place, but I'll do my best to keep it with some kind of order. Starting with Tokyo. Yeah, the car scene out there was sick, man. With the exception of a few day trips, Tokyo is actually where I was at for most of my stay. And the video you're seeing right now is actually a strip in Akihabara. For those of you that don't know, Akihabara is where you go to anime when one wants to anime. The day we landed, all we really did was get to our hostel, kind of explore the surrounding area, and find food that was down the street. Since we were kind of tired from the plane ride, we kind of just took it easy that day and ended up calling it an early night. But that was okay, because the next morning, April 8th, was my birthday. Now, I've always wanted to check out a maid cafe. I mean, a place where your food is adorable and the servers are super adorable. How is that something you don't want to see? I can understand why some people think off the back that these places can be, or are, a scandalous cafe where things happen behind closed doors, but I can vouch for it that that's definitely not what happened, at least not where we went. Everything was almost cringe-worthy cute. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of video to share of the cafe. You're actually not permitted to take video inside. I didn't know this. My friend actually found this out while we were there. You're also not allowed to ask them any personal things. It's supposed to kind of stay within the fantasy of the maid cafe. On top of all the servers being dressed in maid outfits, they also hand you a bell. It's this tiny little bell, and what you use it for is to call them over if you want to order something else. On top of that, they ask you for your name, so when they come over to get your order, they call you Master, insert name here. Yeah, that was where I cringed. I won't lie though, there was definitely a part of me that enjoyed that. Now that we covered the innaids, let me show you the adorable food. I honestly pictured this being one of those moments where the food looks fantastic, but then when you try it, it's not as fantastic. The sweets and the coffees, they all tasted great. They were everything you would think they would taste like. However, the actual food, like the curry, it tasted alright. But, I mean, you're not coming here to have a full meal. This is a maid cafe. You have some sweet food, you have a drink, so I wasn't really surprised. I knew that I was mostly paying for the aesthetic and the experience. So because I showed them it was my birthday, they gave me a few extra things. One being that plate that said happy birthday. There's a before and after for you. Not gonna lie, it was really hard to take a fork to that. The other thing they did was ask me to come up on this stage-like place they had at the front of the cafe and sat me down in front of all these maids, so they were all behind me, and we took a collective picture. For some reason they pulled my friend up there to take the picture with us. I mean, it was my birthday picture, but whatever. Overall, it was a pretty fun experience. I don't know if I'd ever come back or do it again, maybe with a different group just to see their reactions, but personally, I think the one time's good enough. The next few days were spent exploring the different districts. I went to a few markets, walked around at night, found some awesome arcades, went to a few neat bars. This was actually where I made my first friend.
Missing out. But it was a good night.
It was a good night.
I got an awesome photo bomb, and I made another friend earlier. And I might have spent a lot of time in Akihabara. Tokyo was fantastic, and I could honestly spend this entire video talking about everything that I did and everything that I saw. But in order to keep this video from being super ridiculously long, let's continue on with our next city, Kyoto. So the next morning we packed our stuff, got to the train station, figured out where we needed to go, and made our way to Kyoto. Kyoto was honestly my favorite city, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of videos showing it off. I know, I'm terrible at this vlogging thing, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let play what I do have.
Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road to smell the rose of life? Take a breath now. Don't hold it in too long, 'cause you might end up missing out on life's short little song. She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go. Ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go.
So once we got to the hostel and unpacked, we noticed a sign that said there was a bar in what seemed like the basement area for the hostel. According to the sign, it was only open on weekends, so we figured why not pop in and have a look around. It was definitely a cozy bar. but it made it easy to start conversation. We ended up talking to some pretty cool people that also happened to be there, and after a few more drinks, we decided to party up with them. I honestly had no idea what was going on for the first 10 minutes of this walk. I remember just chatting and thinking, what were we doing again? Oh, right.
And we decided to go geisha hunting, but we're not alone.
So we weren't actually hunting geishas. No geishas were harmed in the making of this video, but some people in the group had mentioned they'd seen one earlier. So we set out to see if we could find one, and it actually didn't really take that long.
Is this weird to take a video for a picture? Yes. Who knows?
After that, we walked around a bit more, took some pictures, took some selfies, and I went to the bathroom for the 500th time because I literally have the bladder of a child. Even so, we decided to continue the drinking with song. I mean, everyone else was singing. I mimicked something closer you would probably hear on an episode of National Geographic's. Yeah, I won't torture you with my beautiful voice. At some point in the night, I also got a pretty flattering apron. My friends somehow found a horse mask somewhere. He was pretty dedicated to that. We drank our drinks and sang our songs. Finally, we decided to call it a night. We said our goodbyes and headed back to our hostels. The next morning, we got together with some of the friends we made that night and did a photo shoot around Kyoto. Then came the day where I screwed myself out of a place to sleep.
So we came out here to the Inari Shrine, but it is just way too crowded out here to take any kind of pictures today. One of the girls that we took a photo shoot with told me, don't come out here any later than 6 o'clock. There's too many people, the crowds ruin it, and I thought, maybe you could work around it, but oh, there are so many people back there. You can't really tell in this picture, but I took those videos. What I've decided is, because the train stations actually don't run all night, if I leave today, I most likely won't have another chance. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to stay here in this town. I don't know if I'm going to be up for the next 17 hours, or I'm going to see if I can find a place to stay the night. Regardless, I'm not leaving here until I get my photo shoot tomorrow morning.
So basically, because I refused to wake up early, I screwed myself out of getting to the shrine before massive amounts of crowds got there. And because the trains didn't run 24 hours, even if I woke up early, the next cities that I was going to stay in were at least 2 hours out, and the trains didn't open till 9. So in order to be at the shrine with the least amount of crowd, I was going to have to wait till morning. So finally, I'm at the shrine at the time that I wanted to be.
6 a.m. No, actually it's about 5 a.m. There's light out, but unfortunately my camera's not the best. My phone isn't the best picking up in low light. I'm gonna try to get some pictures. Hopefully they work out.
They didn't. Yep, after waiting 17 hours, all I got were a few pictures and a whole lot of exhaustion. It's alright though. In the end, my phone ended up dying and the 2 power banks I had ran out of juice. Honestly, being able to frame this shot made it all worth it. My day wasn't over yet though. With 17 hours of no sleep, I was headed to Hiroshima.
So that didn't get directly hit.
So we took a ferry ride out to like a island out here. I don't know exactly where we are, but I got squid. It's good. Hey Joe, what are those called?
Chips.
This is a deer. Hello. He doesn't seem interested in what I'm selling. Look at all the deer. Oh wow. I hope that picked up.
You look so scared of it.
I don't like big animals that aren't my dog.
It's not a big animal, it's a deer.
Australia, the island, checking out the beach. So
This is English. Where are you from?
California.
California. Thank you. This is your entrance fee. Please pay after.
Oh, after?
So we just got dressed for the spa here. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to record out here, but I'm gonna take the camera out there anyway, see what they tell me. I'm gonna try to be sneaky about it anyways, but so we're about to do that fish thing where you put your feet in the little tub of fish, and then they start eating the dead skin off of it. But I guess what they want us to do right now is like sanitize our feet.
We wanted to go to the new one too, but I can't cover them up.
Oh, they won't let you.
Because originally we got the whole thing, the whole. Yeah.
Oh, and you have to be doing it,
So they
yeah.
had to give us back our money because we couldn't go.
Oh, that sucks. This feels Nobody's feet has it as well. Feet are disgusting. Oh my god. It looks like a bunch of leeches. It's horrifying. Nobody else's foot has as many as mine does right now. It's disgusting. I don't want to look down. So I kind of got used to the feeling now. If I look down, it just feels horrible. Like
You must needed a pedicure really bad. Because they're like sucking the blood out of you. They're so gross.
it kind of feels like when your feet fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's tingly, but then you look down and then you see. They're very gentle though. Like I said, like when your feet fall asleep, it's a little tingly. If you kick your feet a little bit, they tend to move away. So they're not aggressive, like they're just kind of hanging out. But the initial feel was pretty freaky. Right now, it's just kind of relaxing. Unless you look down, then it's pretty gross. Because then they get under your toenails, and that was horrible. Oh. Yeah, everyone else has like only like 5 or 6 of them. I have like half of the pool on my feet. Oh, he's on under my nails.
I just wonder why they're so funny.
I shower regularly. Look at this foot, man. Oh my god. So we're all done. Feeding time's over. The feast has ended. So I guess the lesson to take away from this is to wash my feet better. But you know what? If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had so many fish on my feet. That was a joke. I do wash my feet. I don't have nasty feet. I just have manly feet. So you know what? Suck it. Oh, here's a spa full of sake. I'm gonna get in. I was told that this little thing right here, this spigot, is where actual sake kind of drips out of, but it's empty and nothing's coming out, so... This is a spa maple syrup. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I am sitting in a spa of green tea, and funny enough, I don't like green tea. So Hoagie wanted to come out to the outside to check out the outside stuff, and it is freezing! But there's cool stuff and I don't want to get in. Actually, I'm glad we came out. Check out this awesome cave we just found. With like inside stuff. Shut up. It's so freaking cold, but we're gonna go on a slide and hopefully I don't drop this camera and lose a lot of money and a lot of memories.
Edwin, you're too fat.
So we've been here for about an hour. We've seen just about all the other spas here, and now we're just kind of hanging out and relaxing. So we made it back to the city of our hostel, and after a long day of relaxing and just feeling pampered, we're gonna get some ramen. So it's about 6:30 in the morning. Today we woke up and we're headed to Suicide Forest. But I just found one of these bigger ones that has a line saying don't go that way. But I'm gonna go that way. It was leading me down like a path. It felt like a path. Holy shit, it's a big... Okay, so this road ends. It literally ends. I mean, like, I don't even... I'm posting these Snapchats, but they're not posting because I don't have internet. So I'm hoping by the end of this trip I can post them. By trip, I mean like when I get out of this forest. I mean, maybe that's how I'm keeping myself sane. You know, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna post these snaps. Everyone's gonna see them. It's gonna be hilarious. Luckily, I downloaded like this geo map, so I'm gonna pull that up right now. I'm gonna say screw it to this path because there's not even a path. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm pretty sure I'm going in the right direction. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna go through this forest. Oh dear God. Well, found the road. I don't know which way to go now. So even though I made it back to the bus station, I missed my bus. I missed the last bus like 40 minutes ago. So I would be so down to take a taxi if I saw one, but I don't see any taxis, and I'm pretty sure my only option is to walk back to the city. I missed my bus. I have 2 hours to make the last train, and it is 2 hours to get there by walking. I have to run.